We're diving into a T20 World Cup match that honestly felt less like a cricket game and more like a grand heist, packed with twists, turns, and one spectacular comeback. Okay, let's get right into it. This T20 World Cup classic between Sri Lanka and Ireland was pure cinema from start to finish. And for most of this game, you'd be forgiven for thinking there was only one team in it, and it wasn't the home side. So the whole thing kicks off with Ireland setting this perfect trap. They win the toss on Sri Lankan soil, they choose to bowl, and then they just let their bowlers spring that trap. I mean, they're spinners, led by George Dockrell. They just use that slow Colombo pitch like a weapon, bowling stump to stump, giving the Sri Lankan batters absolutely no room to breathe. They didn't just slow the runs down, they stopped them cold. The boundaries vanished, and you could feel the home crowd getting quieter and quieter.
Just look at this scoreline. After 15 overs, Sri Lanka are crawling at 95 for 4. At that point, getting to 130 would have felt like a win. You could just feel it in the air. A massive upset was absolutely on the cards in Colombo. But just when you thought it was all over for Sri Lanka, the whole game just violently shifted. This is where the heist really begins, and it's all down to one man who decided, nope, not today.
And this chart just shows you how insane that turnaround was. They were crawling to 95 runs in 15 overs, and then bam, 68 runs smashed in the final 5. That's not just flipping the script, that's tearing it up and writing a whole new one.
And the guy who did it? Kamindu Mendis. He walks in and just plays this wild, adrenaline-pumping innings. He knew exactly what to do. Target the short boundaries, go after the pacers. While everyone else was struggling, this guy is striking at over 230. Just incredible stuff.
So you see, the whole recovery was really a tale of two Mendis. You had Kusal Mendis, the anchor, right? He played that tough, gritty 50 to hold things together, but it was Kamindu's absolute explosion that gave their bowlers a real score to defend. One held the fort, the other blew the doors off.
So, boom, Sri Lanka get to 164. A challenging total for sure. But here's the thing, Ireland didn't seem fazed at all. They came out to bat looking cool and confident. The drama, believe me, was far from over. Yeah, despite that late blitz from Sri Lanka, Ireland started their chase so well. They handled the early pressure and maneuvered themselves into what looked for all the world like a completely unlosable position. Okay, so their captain, Paul Stirling, goes early. A bit of a hiccup, right? But then Harry Tector and Lorcan Tucker get together, and this partnership was just magnificent. They were using their feet, sweeping the spinners, and just refusing to let them settle. They put Ireland right in the driver's seat. No question about it. I mean, think about it. The stadium is dead quiet. The Sri Lankan players have their heads down. Ireland needs less than a run a ball, with 8 wickets in the tank. It felt inevitable. It really looked like we were about to witness a famous and, frankly, a well-deserved Irish victory. And then, it happened. In the space of what felt like a few heartbeats, the entire game was turned completely on its head. This is where the heist went from a plan to a full-blown masterpiece, all thanks to Sri Lanka's deadliest weapon. Ireland walked right into it, the spin web. It's this deadly mix of suffocating pressure and just world-class spin bowling on a pitch that was practically begging for it. And in Colombo, when the spinners are on, panic becomes your worst enemy. And boy, did it happen fast. The second Lorcan Tucker fell, the floodgates just burst open. A few balls later, Tector, the guy who was set, he's gone. From there, it was just chaos. A procession of wickets, one after the other. Unbelievable. And the guys behind it all, the chief architects? Wanindu Hasaranga, who, by the way, was basically bowling on one leg with a hamstring injury, and still delivered this match-winning spell. And then Maheesh Theekshana, whose double strike in that 17th over was the final nail in the coffin. And this just shows you how much the spinners took over. I mean, it was total domination in that final phase. They didn't just chip in, they completely ripped through the Irish middle order, grabbing a staggering 70% of the wickets themselves. Just wow. So, the big question is, how on earth did Sri Lanka pull this off? Well, it wasn't just one magic moment. It was a perfectly executed heist, carried out in two very different but equally crucial parts.
So, part one of the heist, Kamindu Mendis' insane batting blitz. They were dead and buried, and he single-handedly gave them a score to defend. Part two, the spin web. Ireland were cruising, and Sri Lanka's world-class spinners just choked the life out of the chase. 2 acts, 1 unbelievable victory.
And so in the end, Ireland were all out for 143. They fell 20 runs short, a game that was theirs to lose for, 30 plus overs of the match. A truly, truly stunning turnaround. So what's the takeaway here? Was this Sri Lankan genius just seizing those tiny moments when it mattered most? Or was it a heartbreaking Irish collapse under the weight of pressure? Honestly, it's probably a bit of both. And it just shows you that razor-thin line between winning and losing in T20 cricket.